You're listening to the Media Man Dan Podcast. Promoting people with passion all over the globe. Interviews every weekend. Album reactions every month. This is your host, Media Man Dan. Let's rock!
Respect is by the hour. Remember your word is barely seen. I don't give shit up, I ain't a coward. And that's a fact for everyone who doubted. Stand 10 toes, I ain't lost my balance. Up on my way, ain't a care about it. Up on my way, ain't a care about it. Yo, that's how I bring it back. One hand on the wheel, how with the lack. Two hands on the hips, how I hit it back. Three eyes on my head, how I'm the black cat. I see everything, 30 different meanings. Every week I'm doing everything. Keep it rhyme, people out the biz, ain't no meddling. Keeping it together, working harder than I ever did. Winning for I see a checkered flag. Winning like Ferrari, I ain't had to lie to Max. First ain't stopping here, I ain't flying first class. While I'm chilling with your girl, shit, I poured the first glass. I ain't playing, how you hate on me before I started. Now you see the wave, you wanna ride it like you caused it. Now you see the wave, you wanna surf it like you lost it. Alley-oop the game like I sent them back to Compton. I ain't 50, shit, I might be 30. Every fucking year that goes by, I'm still learning. Trying to find myself, trying to live my purpose. Living every second of my life like I deserve it. Studying the great shit, I got 'em on the track. 30 more years till I put down the pad. 5 more days till I start a new path. Fuck everyone that ain't got my back, I'm sorry for you. If you want the money and power, remember respect is by the hour. Remember your word is barely seen. I don't give shit up, I ain't a coward. And that's a fact for everyone who doubted. Stand 10 toes, I ain't lost my balance. Up on my way, ain't a care about it. Up on my way, ain't a care about it.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Media Man Dan Podcast. Today is an absolutely epic day. As you guys always know, I bring on the best guests in the entire world, and that goes to the incredible producer and artist, John Sorto, all the way over in Rhode Island. This man is a legendary musician and producer, working with all types of genres, starting with hip-hop, using some Spanish style in the middle, and he's also done metal with Tomorrow Untold, a band I would love to interview in the near future. Welcome to the podcast, John. It is an absolute honor to have you here. We just listened to your album, and all you guys should go and check it out on the Patreon. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing swell. That felt like I was on Funk Flex for a second. That was awesome. That was awesome. I need people to do that when I walk into a room. I need people to introduce me like that when I walk into a room, like when I walk into the function. Yeah.
Yes. For sure. I was just telling my coworker today, you remember that Family Guy episode where Peter had like one wish and it was like,
I wish I had my own theme music.
Done. Get up, try it out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Talk about main character syndrome. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's great to have you on for the first time on here. We've been talking for a little bit that no one else knows, but we had a real fun time bonding over things, and I really want to dive deep into your music. But the most important thing right now is, what do you think is going on in this world?
Oh, what I think is going on, I don't know. With us, if we're looking at it from like an America-centric point of view, a lot of people are not feeling too great about where the U.S. is politics-wise. You know, people are scared of tariffs. People are scared of losing their rights, getting their rights taken away. People are scared of war. You know, and you know, global tensions rising. So. I don't know. I try to bring some optimism and some hope into every room I walk in. I'm an activist. I've been doing a lot of I've been organizing for the past 2 years, and I just try to bring light to issues that are important to me. and issues that are important to me and my community. And I think that if everybody doesn't look so much at the bigger picture, but looks at their local politics and their local politicians, their school board elections, um, and really tunes in and dials into that and figures out how they can help in their community, they can make their community a better place and in turn, influence the cities around them, the towns around them. It's very, very easy to think big picture after, such a monumental election cycle with a lot of
Propaganda?
uh, propaganda, but also like a lot of name calling, a lot of,
Oh yeah.
disrespectfulness coming from both sides. It's really, really easy to be narrow focus on that. But no matter what happens in an election, you got a family to take care of, you got friends that love you, you got communities that know who you are. And if you don't, then insert yourself in your local communities, become a figurehead and, be a symbol of hope. I think that's what matters the most.
Absolutely, man. And you were talking about like the education system, the government that's local to you and everything like that. We got to give a shout out to John here for being an educator as well in his free time. This man is helping the youth understand what real art and real music are and how to express yourself in the best way, and also the old-fashioned way, because that's how we all start with music. And I appreciate you for being part of it, man. You're a huge component to this future that we're looking forward to, whether it's progressive or conservative or whatever. I think that we're going to have some really smart kids with real big passion that will hopefully be on the podcast when they're old enough.
Yeah, I hope so. I have a lot of promising students on that record. If you guys go to his Patreon to go react to my record with him, I believe there are 4 features on that record that are all my students, and they all
Wonderful.
killed their features. They did amazing jobs. And yeah, I'm really proud of the work that I've done as an educator, and I think that everybody deserves to have a outlook at the arts like I did and like my students have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think that this world, as you were just saying, is a big picture thing. We've always done this. What I consider it is the sociology versus the psychology. Psychology is let's see what's going on in the local area. What kind of small things, like you said, you're an activist. What can we do personally? As I said way back before anybody was elected that I cared about, I wasn't even involved in politics at this time. I put it on a Facebook post. I found it from somebody else, so I'm going to say plagiarism in this case, but they're not going to help you get your groceries to your car. They're not going to help you mow your lawn. They're not going to help grandma walk across the street. These are politicians. These are people in the elite category of life. They don't care about anything that we personally do. So it's time to make them care by doing your absolute best to stand up for what you believe in. No matter what side of the aisle you are on, you should be able to express yourself in the world where we actually have free speech. You can say anything that you want right now. You can influence so many people to think the right way, do the right thing, and finally we can come together and hopefully unify so we never have to go through an election cycle so stupid again. That would be wonderful. Also, for the people that actually make Illinois ads for campaigns, Hannah is not bananas, and no, the other candidate is not too far right to fit on the screen. If you're going to make cringe ads, you're going to lose. It happens that you don't even need to try, and you'll win in the blue state. Dumb fucks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but circling back to your point, where you were saying that this is psychology that matters. There's definitely a lot of people who really only look at how policy will affect them. But there's so many different kinds of people, all different races, all different classes, coming from all different ways of life, different cultures, where some form of legislation may not impact you directly, but will impact, like your sibling, if you have a mom, if you have a dad, just different types of people around you. So a part of being educated and a part of being aware is realizing that it isn't just about you, it's about everybody else. Because if I'm like sitting here, I'm just like, you know what, the election ain't gonna do too much to me, but then like my sister's rights are being taken away, or my parents might suffer from more for more racism, because other people feel the need to. Other people feel more free to do so. That's going to affect them. That's going to affect the people around me. I'm not going to stand by, and just be like, oh, well, I'm good. Oh, well, I'm straight. That's a very individualistic mentality. And I'm not with that. I'm personally a collectivist. We got to huddle up together. We all got to figure this out. And we all got to work together to make this world, or at least your city, a better place.
There you go. And you know what? Even if you guys disagree with either my point or his point of view, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you take what's being said, you put it into the way that you want to perceive it, and then you say, you know what I learned today? I learned that two people that might not agree on everything can still get along, and we can still move forward, and we can still empathize with one another. He's talking about things that happen personally, family that's going to be personally affected. You know how awkward it is every Thanksgiving when you have to sit down with your super Republican side and your super Democrat side. It's always a big, huge, like, it's a battle. It's a battle. Why not battle this year and just focus on the food? There's so much good food. Let's just eat it and have a good time and enjoy that presence before, more shit hits the fan. That's what I say. Let's just
Yeah.
let's what I make bygones be bygones. There we go.
Mhm. But also for the families that won't even, be have the opportunity to have that Thanksgiving dinner,
There you
or
go.
the families that are broken. Like I do work with a lot of youth who don't know where their parents are, whether they were abandoned or or anything like that, put into the foster care system. Um, there's definitely there's enough sorrow and there's enough pain to go around in this world. I think that it's best to love other people. And if something you believe in means that you have to hate somebody for some reason, or it means that you have to despise somebody for some reason, that I don't think that's the way to go. I think that hate is super duper easy, but it takes more energy out of you to love, so you should love, you know.
Love that message, man. I mean, that
Gotta
sounded like
take
straight from Tupac's
Yeah.
mouth, man.
Gotta
Holy
take the
shit.
road less traveled.
There
Gotta
you
take the
go.
road less traveled.
Yes, yes. And I think that in this world, in this climate that we're constantly bombarded with ideas, it's good to have take a step back and just think about these things and ask ourselves, are we really standing for the right thing? Are we really on board with what humanity needs right now? Or are we being selfish? Are we being self
Mm.
centered? Are we being ignorant of something that could actually be fixed had we just put a little bit of effort in? And so I appreciate you for being an activist and standing by it. There are a lot of people out there. I call them slacktivists, thanks to my friend Eddie and a couple other people. But like they go out of their way to make it all about themselves, pretend that they're helping, and then do nothing to actually help the cause. So I appreciate you for being honest with everybody here. I appreciate you for being who you are, man. And let's talk about what you're most passionate about. That would be, in my opinion, music. What do you think of music, man? How did it start out, and where do you think you are right now in your career?
So so it started when I was a little kid. I would always hear songs on the radio, and I would just sing along with them, whether it was like the local radio stations near me are like Late Rock 105, 92 Pro FM. And my parents would always hear me singing. They're just like, "Oh, this kid likes music. This kid likes music." So they would like always try to get me to play an instrument or something, and I would just be like, "Oh, I'm too cool for that. I don't need that." Like I thought I was above it until one year, my dad got me a piano, like a maybe like $70 like keyboard from BJ's Wholesale Club, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. So I taught myself how to play the piano. I started to teach myself like my favorite songs. Um, at the time, I was raised Christian, so at the time, my favorite songs were like Torn Wells, Hills and Valleys. It was the Lauren Daigles of the world. Um, um, what's that other Bethel worship,
Okay.
I think, and stuff like that. So I would like learn their songs and everything. And then as I started learning how to play the piano, I started to learn how to write my own songs and write my own melodies. Of course, I wasn't good. I was very, very bad, but I still had so much fun doing it. So I and my friend at the time, his name was Brady D'Souza. He got me into writing my first couple of songs, which is what is on my Spotify as the Belief EP, like all that. Those were my first couple songs I ever wrote. And after that, I started falling in love with that. I started making music on GarageBand. Next thing I knew, I had a Mac Mini. I was using GarageBand on there. Then I bought Logic, and so on and so forth. And then I realized how much money it costed to get my music mixed and mastered. Like I was looking at like stuff in the thousands of dollars, and I was like, I want to make an album. I can't afford this. I'm 15. Like how am I gonna? How am I? There's not enough lemonade stands in the world for me to raise enough money to make a project. So I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I researched mixing and mastering like crazy. I was reading the ITU Book of Standards for audio codecs on digital platforms. Like I was deep in there. And then I started mixing, and the first album that I mixed by myself was Back to Back. That record that I released in 2021 still wasn't good, but there were some good ideas on that record that I'm
hold up.
still fond of.
Back to Back.
Yes.
Which one was that? Hold on.
It was the one with the orange cover, and then it has like the
Bro,
pinky promise.
hold up. I think I loved that one.
Really?
Was that
Really?
the Tonight album?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, this album was amazing. It was a long one, I'll say that. I mean, obviously,
Oh yeah.
you don't make short music anyway. His new LP, if you guys want to go and check it out, is 22 tracks, and it's absolutely worth it. By the end, you will definitely need tissues. Just a fair warning for you. But yeah, I will say this: that album, I took screenshots of the songs that I was like, this is his evolution as an artist, and I put them here on purpose. 4 out of, okay, let's see how many screenshots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I only have 7 screenshots altogether. 4 of them are from that album. Stay,
Okay.
Revenge, Overdose, and Lago are all top tier, what I think your sound grew from and became what you are now. Like it felt so good to listen
Those
to.
are definitely my favorites. I think the only ones that are still my favorites that aren't on there are Beautiful, The Interlude, and Go to Bed.
I do like Go to Bed.
Go to Bed was the track where I was like actually vulnerable, and I was like, hey guys, I'm really tired. I don't want to do this because at the time I graduated high school at 15 years old, and at the time I was a teacher's assistant. I managed a couple artists in Rhode Island, which I still do. And I was learning how to mix and master and all of that all at the same time, and I was just overwhelmed. So I made that song. But anywho, I now how old I am now and how far removed I am from that period of my life, I have grace for my younger self, but I also don't think the album was good. You know, like if I could talk to 15-year-old John, I'd be like, hey man, those are some good ideas there, but let's go back to the drawing board. Here's a couple plugins you should know about.
Well, here's the good news. I said it in my head while I was listening to your first EP. I was like, I mean, when I was making music, I chose not to release it. This man had the balls to actually drop some shit that he was creating, and he kept it. And everyone can ingest it in the way that they want to. But like I said, man, if I didn't have that, I would have never known that Belief, the title track on that EP, was what I consider a huge what can I say? Evolutionary step in the right direction. It just felt like you understood how to mix your vocals. You had some harmonies that were really well done, and you had some more singing on the next album too. And you could just hear that your voice, as shaky as it was, as unpolished as it could be, you were still like, I got this. And you're being so honest about it too. Like you weren't happy with how it sounded, but dude, that's all part of it. And the fact that it's
Yeah,
still up is awesome. I appreciate it.
absolutely. One thing that's been a common theme in my growth as an artist is that even if I personally don't have the most utmost faith in the song, when it came out and people came for my neck, like not like constructive criticism, but that just straight up bullying me for my music, I would stand up for myself because I still believed in what I was doing. And even up to where I am now, where I'm mixing for some very talented and popular artists, I'm just like, okay, like I believe in myself. I'm going to commit to the sound. I'm going to commit to what I'm doing because I know what I'm capable of. I know where my potential is at. But anywho, um,
No, no, don't stop. Keep going. This is awesome. First of all, for the bullies out there, where's your music? Where's your music?
oh,
Let's see
you
what
know
you
what's funny?
created. It's
You know
funny
what's
how you
funny?
can't say anything until you get behind the screen or you
Yeah.
go up to somebody and you judge them by the book. And what did we say from the first day in school? Don't judge a book by its cover. And you guys
Hmm.
always do that. Don't jump to conclusions. This man is an absolute legend, and he knew he was going to be a legend one day, no matter how his first sound sounded.
Yeah. What's funny is that the people that bullied me in middle school for the music that I made then all ended up trying to make music, and they're
Failing.
older than me, and it's not, the mixing isn't good. Actually, one of them went to school for engineering. I never went to school, and I listened to a song of theirs recently, and I was like, okay, okay, I'm not gonna bully them because I have some goodness in my heart.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, this is some sort of retribution for what they said to me when I was a wee little lad. Um, but yeah, so I made that project, and at the time I was going through a not so fun breakup. Teenagers, they fall in love a little too hard. It gets a little too real. So I was trying to recover from it, and at the same time, I was listening to so much more different music than I did before. Like while I was making back to back, I think the most diverse my music ever got was My Chemical Romance. Like it wasn't very diverse at all. But once I got into my record Comfortable, I had really delved into the history of hip hop because I also teach through the lens of Afrofuturism. So I got to go through hip hop and listen to all the classics, study it, listen to a bunch of different artists, a bunch of different genres like folk and country, alternative, indie, everything that I could find. And then I started narrowing my sound down a little more. Comfortable is still, my delivery still isn't all there. Uh, the um that was the first album that I think I only produced two tracks off of that record. The rest were produced by one of my producer friends. And I kind of just spit bars and I mixed it and mastered it. But I knew that once I made the song Love You, and everybody around me loved it. Whenever I perform it, people would go crazy. I was like, okay, all right. I think I'm getting to a point now where my music is serviceable. Now I just need to figure out my niche and tap into it.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, man, I vibe with something different. I think that song is one of my favorite standouts on that album. And I
mm,
also have another one here that I was like, okay, I have to clip this. My fiance is listening to all of this with me while we're driving back from work. And I'm like, I gotta listen to him. I mean, I'm sorry if you don't like the non perfect music, but every artist has one period of time that they do this and they're too afraid to post it. So I have to hear what he did, and it was Give Me Time. Give Me Time is the last
mm.
screenshot, and I loved that song, dude. Listen to it 3 times.
I also love that record. That record was super personal for me because it was really how I was feeling at the time. Where I felt like, ironically enough, I was 17. I felt like I was getting too old. I felt like time was slipping from me because if you look at social media, there are 15-year-olds blowing up on TikTok over like a song they made on BandLab. So I was looking at stuff like that and I was like, what am I doing? I need to lock in. So that was just a song that was just real about how I was feeling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I really like that record. And then since then, I studied more in the arts of mixing and mastering. I moved over to Tallahassee, Florida, And then I started working with United Masters in a close company. Um, and I recently had a song, or I had a single by the rapper Bocce, which was dropped under Empire Distribution. So like I've been able to really narrow down my mixing and mastering craft and work on some really really cool stuff. I'm still making music. I still got stuff on the way, but engineering has my heart because I love it's a different feeling when you're finished with mixing and mastering a song and you send it over to the client and they're just freaking out. They're just like, "Oh my goodness, thank you. You captured my vision for the record." And I got to, give that to them. There's just something about that feeling that, through all the hardships of engineering, that it just never goes away.
It's all worth it.
Oh yeah.
So you said you never went to school for audio engineering, but you graduated at 15 years old. What was the plan after that graduation?
So at the time, I was working at that nonprofit. So my idea was like, all right, I have a 3 year head start. I have a 3 year head start. I can lock in and just work a job, grind, stack up some money. So that way, by the time that I'm 18, I could really do something with my life.
Yeah.
Turns out, when you have a lot of free time as a teenager, you end up doing some dumb shit.
What?
You end up doing some dumb shit.
What? That never happens. Teenagers are always trustworthy, especially teenage boys. We never see them taking an entire bowl of candy so that kids can't have it on Halloween or anything,
Hey,
or knocking over your snowman.
I was never that. Knocking over the snowman. I definitely did that.
You did that? I hate
For
you.
sure.
I hold it against all teenagers ever. No, that one kid, he took the scarf from my snowman. I was really proud of my snowman. They were like, "Here's the scarf. Oh my gosh, cool." Then they took it and then they ran away. And I was like, "No! How could you do this? You heartless bastard."
Oh man, but yeah, I kind of spent some time doing some not so great things, just like hanging out with people too much, not really locked in. I just had so much free time.
Yeah.
I was out partying, I was out, going to shows, talking to shorties I shouldn't have been talking to,
Mm-hmm.
all that nonsense. But then at like 18, I locked in, and now I'm doing some great stuff right now, and I get to live off of my music. Like I have my teaching job, but if I didn't have my teaching job, I would be able to survive completely off of my mixing and mastering business, which is, it's a blessing.
Yes,
To say
and
the
shout
least.
out to his business, which will be in the description right down below. You guys should go and check that out. Give him some support if you need anything mixed, podcast, music, instruments, vocals. This dude actually understands it, and you can hear how his evolution has become what it is. It's insane. It's actually insane to go through all of his discography, which is in one big playlist, thanks to me, who is out of their mind and listening to too much music all the time. So thank you, man, for making me make another playlist that is unbelievably long, 5.5 hours.
Type shit. Hell yeah. For
It's beautiful.
sure.
But on the bright side, at least you are now an adult. I always want to know this for people that are starting young. I had a kid on, his name is Proof, and he's been dropping albums like nonstop, man. He stopped for a little bit of time. Something about, like you said, teenage boys, they have too much free time and they get a little distracted. But he also was like top of his class kind of stuff, doing honors program, and he's still producing and releasing all kinds of stuff all the time, and I give major props to you. The issue I have is I'm an ageist in this case. How do you get to the places without asking mommy for help? Because you can't drive at 15.
Okay. So I live in the Northeast, so the public transportation system is goated. I can
Oh,
get to almost anywhere with the bus, like a 15-minute walk to the bus stop, a 30-minute bus ride, another 5-minute walk, and I'm at the studio, you know? So, my mom, shout out my mom. My mom, she's done a lot for me growing up, especially when I was 16 doing overnight studio sessions, half an hour away from home. She would pack me lunches. She would remind me to, eat some fruit when you're feeling a little drowsy, drink water. My mom's done a lot for me. But thankfully most of my career path has been self-sufficient. I've been able to pay off, you know, Uber rides and lifts. I also got friends who got whips, so I could get rides when I needed to, you know.
Hell yeah, man. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. My
Yeah,
friends who
yeah,
did
but
not drive for a while are very grateful for all the times that I've driven them everywhere.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The lead singer of Tomorrow Untold, I can't tell you how many times he has taken me to studio sessions, and then I've cooked him food or given him money or taken him out to dinner in return,
Yeah,
you know.
love it. And speaking of Tomorrow Untold, you guys somehow met each other. As a rap producer, I did not expect for you to drop one of the biggest bangers of the year with Tomorrow Untold. Go and check out the brand new song, Vanity. Go and check it out right now. I promise you will be mind blown. And then
Yeah,
you will go to the description and give this man his money because he is worth it. He will
facts.
produce anything and make it
I will
awesome.
say, I will say, I will say, I am actually at the studio with them right now. They're in the other room working on their next couple songs with the producer Marcus Simononi. He co-mixed and he produced the Vanity. I did the other part of the mixing and mastering. He is a phenomenal engineer, and me and him work in tandem a lot. So if you need a metal song or a pop punk song mixed and mastered, you send it over to Marcus. He sends it over to me, and I master it. We call it a day. I promise you, you got a hit. Promise you,
Awesome.
you got a hit.
Awesome. Awesome. And to know that they're in the other room, that's why I was jaw dropped because I'm just like, wait, what? Where are they? Bring them out.
They're hard at work. If there are any musicians in the audience, they are currently reamping some takes that they've done in the previous session. So that takes a lot of tweaking, a lot of attention to detail.
Hell yeah, man. And I
So
met them through Eric, who I've interviewed now twice,
yes,
technically, with his old band and then by himself. And I believe that he is just awesome for everything that they are as a band. So I'm hoping that all of you guys, including you, who is, helping them master mix all of that as well, are like going in the direction where these guys are going to become viral because they
oh
deserve
yeah,
it and they love what they do. And you can just hear the passion from the first album. I was like, shit, this is cool.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They got a lot of good shit coming out soon. I can't say too much, but it, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited.
Straight Fire coming in 2025.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, good shit, man. Well, let's talk about some other stuff. So, what is your favorite movie that you've seen this year? Are you a movie guy?
I am a movie guy, but I've been slacking this year. I do have a list of movies that I've seen though.
That's what I like to hear.
Um, okay. Oh, okay. So there's this movie. It didn't come out this year, but I watched it for the first time this year. It's called Loving Vincent.
Ooh,
It's a movie about Vincent Van Gogh and his story. And what they did was they filmed the entire movie like in live action. They had, I think it was over 500 painters or like paint every single frame in the style of Van Gogh's paintings. So it's like kind of like stop
sorry,
motion
I just
esque.
salivated a little bit there, and I'm not even that big of an art guy. But I just realized this is from 2017. It's called a crime thriller because Google gets everything wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Um, this is the same year that my favorite film of all time came out,
Hmm.
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Okay, that's a good film. That's a good film.
Extremely creative times, apparently 2017 was.
Yes. Loving Vincent made me sob my eyes out. I love Vincent Van Gogh. Is one of my biggest inspirations. That isn't, like somebody that's actually in my life.
Yeah.
Uh I love Vincent Van Gogh a lot. And watching that movie, I was like, all right, that's crazy. And what they managed to accomplish, painting over an entire movie is so creative, incredibly creative. It's a really, really good watch. It's a tearjerker. I would definitely watch it if you have the chance.
And is it based on the like disrespect for the actual artist based on the crime
Yes.
aspect of it?
So it's kind of just like a not a biography. Yeah, it's a biography of Vincent Van Gogh's life. It's like a retelling of his life. So from like him, moving away to go pursue his art, people calling him crazy, up into his death, where they don't do the Vincent Van Gogh committed suicide path. They do the Vincent Van Gogh got shot by one of the village people, but he was so worried for the person that he didn't say anything. They took that route. And it's a really powerful movie, and I expect I I exceed people. Is that the word? No, I listen. If you are the suffering artist archetype, watch that movie. Just if you're like the oh woe is me type of artist, go watch that movie because it's
It'll change your perspective.
yes, it will.
See, like Mozart's movie Amadeus, everybody said that it's
Ooh,
like instantly wrong, but I'm like,
oh,
I don't really care. I like the message of it, and it does really show what could have been a modern interpretation of Mozart. Like it's
oh
just
yeah,
that very smutty kind of guy outside of the
yeah,
music, and then when he's in the music, it's like that's all that matters. There is nothing
yeah.
else to the day he died.
Amadeus is also another movie that I watched this year that was really, really good. I've been kind of not watching movies of this current year because fun little thing. I actually am a big Marvel fan, but I've been disappointed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the season 2 finale of Loki.
Oh man, you're gonna get some hate. No, I'm pretty sure everyone's on your side.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching the MCU, but I think I'm gonna get back into it because I heard that they're filming for Spider-Man 4, or they're about to start filming for Spider-Man 4. So I'm just like,
Toby
okay,
Maguire.
I need to not be lost in the plot. I need to lock in and figure out what the fuck is happening.
Well, since we're talking about Spidey, what do you think of Across the Spider Verse and Into the Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse?
Okay, the first movie, the one that came out in 2018, I sobbed my eyes out at that one scene. Spoilers. If you haven't watched this movie, what's wrong with you? But spoilers for that movie. The scene where they have to steal the goober from Miles, but Miles is just like, no, I can do this. But they're just like, you can't. You have to prove yourself, and they like tie him up to everything. I saw my eyes out because I was like, he's trying his hardest. He's trying his hardest. Like he just wants to be a good Spider-Man. So I've loved that series. I am pissed that the third movie has been delayed so long. I need that cliffhanger was too heavy. I need the third movie like now. Like now. Sony needs to lock in.
Dude, I think the second movie, and this goes back to the unfortunate political stuff that we were originally discussing. I think the second movie is the gateway for almost everybody on the right side to go, that's just a great movie. Like, there's so many left wing political messages from the first scene alone that are all throughout the movie, but you're just like, fuck it, I don't care. This is great. This is one of the
Mhm.
best things I've ever seen. The nostalgia's there, the creativity's there, the animation is unbelievable, capturing, spoiler alert, every Spider-Man basically ever. Like the
Yeah.
cartoons I grew up on, the cartoons my
Spectacular
parents grew up on.
Spider-Man.
Everybody, man, it was so cool to see him back in action.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that movie, first of all, as a Latino, the Afro Latino representation in the
Mhm.
movie and how they depict a Latino family, very, very accurate. Miles's mom is like my mom for real. That's the type of household that I grew up in. So like the way that Latinos have such a collectivist culture, and they're just like, I'm like you're gonna do some dumb shit, right? But you're my son and I love you. Like no matter what, I'm gonna love you. It's that kind of unconditional love for your family that people needed to see live on screen, packaged in such a PG-13 way. Um, because I don't think we see collectivism enough in movies anymore. A lot of movies are like very like I'm gonna do this my way, and I'm gonna do
Yes.
my own thing and all that. But family and familial love is super duper important. And even your chosen family, people that you choose to call family, like that kind of love is important.
Yes, and we were discussing this before as well, is that, there are people in different life circumstances, and it doesn't matter if they're blood or not. If they are the ones that you are the closest to, if they are the ones that have influenced you or that inspire you to be better people, that is your family. That is your familia. And the thing I love about that family argument, saying that barely any movies are touching on it, I appreciate that Inside Out 1 and 2 both get that message very, very well. Whether it's the friend family or whether it's the family of Riley, they both nailed exactly what I wanted to see. And it's like that unconditional love that you were just talking about. I don't know if you saw Inside Out 2 yet. Have you seen it?
I actually haven't. I saw
Okay.
the first one. I still haven't seen the second one.
There is a scene, I don't know if you watch hockey, Riley's in a penalty box and something happens and it's got me teared up, dude. And I'm a manly man. I'm a tough man. Yeah. But I can cry at Disney movies to this day. I'll never stop for Lion King. But there was one moment, and it was just the way that her friends reacted, that I was like I just got chills. I just fucking got chills, dude. Just thinking about that scene hit me so hard emotionally, just like the first one did. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. So whenever you can, man, watch that one.
Oh yeah.
It's really good. It is a
I'll
really
put it on
solid
my
follow
bucket
up.
list. I'll schedule a movie night with the homies.
There you go. Be like, guys, we're watching something absolutely unbelievably manly. Inside Out 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right, but okay, so movies, we are in agreement of that. Did you watch anything fun for Halloween? We just passed Halloween.
I did watch Beetlejuice for the first time, like the original,
Same.
and bro, that movie did not age well.
No.
No, what was Lydia? No, what you mean finna marry this old ass dude? What was I gonna say? It's a cool movie. It's cool. It's funny. It's not for me. It's definitely not my kind of humor or my kind of horror. I also hate horror movies. I can't.
Can't do
I get
scary.
too anxious. I get too anxious. Um, but I watched Beetlejuice, and then I also watched Scream. I think it was Scream 4.
Okay. The one with the multiple intros saying
Yeah,
stab 3, stab 6, stab whatever. That was such a
yeah,
cool intro.
yeah. That was a cool movie. Again, I needed to hold Shorty's hand throughout that. I couldn't. No,
You were on the edge of your
absolutely.
seat. You didn't know what was happening.
Not even on the edge of my seat. I was on the back of my seat with my pillow in front of my face. I was like, I can't do. I'm only doing this because I love you. Like I can't. No.
What do you think of that bedroom scene? He's in the closet. Are you sure?
You sure?
They open it up, like all that tension. It's like he's not in there. It's like I didn't say which closet. It's like oh,
Yeah.
sorry to bring you back your nightmares
Yeah.
tonight.
I slept with one eye open that night. Oh my goodness.
Love
Yeah.
it, man. Love it. All right. Anyway, so Scream 4 is my second favorite of the entire franchise. The first movie is a masterpiece, in my opinion. I think it is everything that I ever wanted to watch in the genre of horror that's really not that scary. It's more of like a who did it, like a Scooby Doo mystery, and just with adult themes and more violence. And so the first time I ever saw the movie was 2021. I told my fiance, I was like, I need to see something that will get me into this genre. And she was like, okay, well, we'll just do like a blind surprise. So I think it was for my birthday. She took me to see it. And it was an anniversary. I think it was like 20th anniversary of Scream. Dude, I was so happy. I was like, I wanted to stand up and clap, and I knew that would be weird because the movie's already old for so many people. But like, I was so invested in everything they were doing, and so impressed by some of the shots, and the acting was unbelievable, and the plot twist was great, and I was just like, wow, this is great. This is just like everything I wanted, and it has meta humor in it too, which is also
Mhm.
some of my favorite things to have in a movie. Like you got Harley Quinn and her whatever, Birds of Prey, and then you got Deadpool, you know, always pointing out the things that you as an audience member are thinking, and Scream does it multiple times as well. It's like, love this so much. So when I saw the whole franchise, I went through the second one, which I thought was really corny. I didn't know it was made literally in a year. So I was like, oh, this isn't good at all. Third one, I was like, okay, well, first of all, Courtney Cox hairstyle, like what? Like what? What happened there? Like who just it was like army buzz cut? That seems right. Yeah, let's see how that grows out. It's like, but why? She's beautiful. She's Gail Weathers. Stop doing this to beautiful people. don't change their hairstyle for the sake of being cool. It's not cool. And then they had the little twist of like going on the set of Stab, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I don't know if you've seen the other movies, but by the fourth movie, we were watching all of these in order, and you could tell that the movie was made in a different era because just the cinematography alone, like it looks like it's like almost neon at times, right? They looked a little foggy in spots. You're like, I don't know if this was on purpose, but I think this is not correct. I don't think this is the correct film.
I think they were in post-production. They were just like, fuck it, just keep it in, man. Like, we can't reshoot. We don't have enough in the budget.
All they had to do was turn the brightness down or something. Like, it was saturated. It was like, okay, that's weird. But the story was great. The intro was great. The tension was great. And the twists were awesome. And I loved it by the end. So when Scream 5 comes out with Jenna Ortega, who nobody really knew about or cared about at that time, as far as I know, everyone went like batshit crazy over the idea that we got these two amazing new leads. And I was like, one of them is just yelling and crying most of the movie because they're in a wheelchair. And that's your favorite star, Jenna Ortega. And the other one, I can't even remember the name of, but I still like the movie. I'm still like honestly liking what I'm seeing. So I gave all the hope in the world to them in 2022 with Scream 6, and they let me down so badly, man. I was so disappointed. I was like, wait, why? Or was it last year? I don't even know. But it was so like so much plot armor that you can have with a character that becomes jump the shark situation. And a lot of critics talked about it. I don't know have you seen Scream 6?
No.
There's a character you understand what Scream is. You understand that when people die, they actually are dead. This is not like come back from the dead. This is not Kylo Ren and Rey. This is not anything of that. Yeah, it's not Loki. It's not anything, supernatural most of the time. There is one character he is stabbed literally 15 times, and this dude still is alive by the end of the movie.
You know that honestly, I can respect it. That's crazy plot armor. That's insane plot armor.
You're gonna love what they called this character. His name is Chad. What a Chad.
The Gen Z part of the script writing team was like, guys, hear me out. I love that.
What's really funny is they made him the person of color. So it's all of the Chad energy that you would expect Gen Z to say with all of the progressiveness of it as well. So it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And now everybody's out of it.
I would have expected Glenn Powell to play some guy named Chad.
That would be so fitting. God, Glenn Powell. Holy shit, man. Did you see Twisters?
I did see Twisters.
What a movie. And a handsome fella. Handsome fella.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of. I've been back in the gym, and I've been watching a lot of his trainer post YouTube videos online. I've been trying to figure that out because I'm trying to get somewhere close to that physique. Dear goodness, I'm trying. As an engineer, you kind of just sit on your desk all day, looking at audio shit. So you gotta find some way to keep moving and keep yourself healthy.
Oh, absolutely. If there's a way to like keep the laptop in a steady position on a treadmill, that's probably the best choice.
There should be. Somebody needs to make a treadmill with the laptop desk.
Business idea.
All right. You get 50%. We're about to make some M's right now.
We're shaking on it. I'll fly over tomorrow.
Sick. All right, I'll get the R&D team on it tonight.
No, it is a top necessity for most editors, though. It's like we don't want to be sitting on our butt the whole time just looking at a screen. It is horrible.
And even the standing desks, now I'm just standing for 6 hours.
Now my legs hurt.
Yeah, like if my legs hurt, I want to at least be on like a treadmill listening to like I don't know Gucci Mane while I'm trying to pump out a TikTok edit. I don't know something. God,
Oh,
anything.
thank you for bringing up Gucci Mane. This brings on another question that I have. What is one of your favorite modern hip hop artists?
That's a really difficult question. I can name at least 20.
Good.
Do you want me to?
I
I
mean,
can.
here's the thing, man. Most people, for one, I see you as somebody in my generation. Like you just have that type of wisdom. You have the vibe of somebody that's, you've seen shit, you've been through shit. You're older, you're more mature. It's because you graduated at 15. You got a freaking head start. Little kid,
Yeah.
so lucky. But no, seriously, it's crazy. So I still go back to the idea that you are Gen Z and you have these thoughts and you have these opinions and you have the music taste. And I think that it's going to be more than helpful to go with you and a lot of many other people that are focusing on older styles as well as newer styles and giving them both credit. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people hate the new stuff and love the old stuff, or love the new stuff and hate the old stuff.
So I would say if you're a younger person and you want to get into some more of the older stuff, or if you're in the opposite and you want to get into the newer stuff, the new Schoolboy Q record, Blue Lips,
Mhm.
has the perfect combination of boom bap and like trap. It's the entire record is very well produced. It's got bars, it's got catchy hooks. It's got auto tune at some places. It's got everything. That Schoolboy Q record is definitely a really, really good introduction into that world of music. But I mean, when it comes to modern rappers, let me think. I got ASAP Rocky, love ASAP, and ASAP Mob. Um, I really like Baby Keem, Kendrick Lamar. I'm big into J. Cole. Uh, Let me think. I listen to a lot of Lil Uzi, Young Thug, Future, 21 Savage, Vince Staples, Isaiah Rashad. One of my favorite records that came out this year was the Vince Staples record, Dark Times. He's a phenomenal rapper from the West Coast. I like the super duper young ones, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, the whole opium thing that they got going on with Playboy Cardi. I like that. Like Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator's new album's really, really good. Am I missing anybody? I think that's mainly my influences. If I'm forgetting somebody, then I'm sorry, but
No,
that's like mainly.
you're perfectly fine. And thank you for bringing up Vince Staples. I mean, not only does that man deserve credit, but now we can talk about Christians. Because we all know about the Christian mom meme. If we go into Vince Staples music,
Yeah.
North really changed the entire internet on one woman's mind. She decided to say things out loud. Now, a man of yourself, I need to know. We both come from a pretty Christian background. What did you think of that reaction? Did you feel like, oh, that would be like how my mom reacts to this? Because I felt like that for me, but at the same time, I was just like, just just don't. No, she said it. Oh, she's full on committed. Okay, we're going here. And so the remixes come in and it's like, you know what, I can't be mad. But then Vince goes out of his way, and this is why I give major respect to this guy, and he says, don't pick on the lady. She's making it clear that she doesn't want these things around her kids. And it's like there's nothing wrong with that. So I really appreciate him to be that kind of, I'm the bigger man kind of situation instead of just
Yeah.
like, oh, stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
understand my shit.
That's why I love Vince Staples whenever he's talking about some real shit on a podcast. Like him on the Joe Budden podcast is one of
Joe
my
Budden.
favorite forms of media because he's just real. He's just real. He keeps it a buck. He's never not himself. He actually has his own show on Netflix called The Vince Staples Show. It's fantastic. It's very, very well written. And if you like the show Atlanta, then you'll like The Vince Staples Show.
Now I have
But
to watch two shows in order to understand anything you're saying. Dang it, man. This is
yeah,
impossible.
it's like the Marvel Cinematic
Yeah,
Universe.
exactly. It's like, oh,
Uh,
Dan, you missed 27 movies.
yeah.
Catch up.
Oh God, but no, Vince Staples, he's definitely one of my inspirations. I love his comedy. I love how he carries himself. I love that he can be super duper funny, but then also talk about real things that are impacting him, and people around him. He keeps it a buck. That's why I like Vince Staples, and I agree. That's how my mom would have reacted for sure.
Right?
But
Yeah.
I love my mom.
Minus the recording themselves part.
Yeah, yeah,
You could literally show
yeah.
it to your friends in private, and most of them would be like, "Oh, this is awful." It's when you record yourself, you have put a target on your back for almost all eternity.
Literally.
Yeah. But either way, man, I love hip hop music. I'm into the classics. I mean, we already talked about the Eminem stuff, but Hobson, Token, NF, anybody that has an Eminem flow, I'm usually into that. I like Tech Nine. I like Tupac.
Do you like JID?
I've only heard the songs that Token has been talking about. Like he loves JID.
You would love the Forever Story because JID is one of the last like rappers I feel of this generation that he still has impeccable storytelling, insane flows, good production. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So that's the guy I need to check out is JID. Yeah, he did the one track I can't even remember on I think it was on Token's album. And then he dropped a verse
Yeah.
recently on Eminem's album, right?
Yeah, on Fuel. On Fuel.
On this
Yes.
baby with the
Yeah, that's
exclusive
some shit.
cover that no one else has because they didn't pay $30 to get this late.
Yeah.
All right, but either way, rap is great. We love rap. Let's talk about other genres that you've been producing and how you got into those. What was it that really inspired you to try out Spanish music?
So of course I'm Latino, so I grew up listening to corridos and ballads, piano ballads in Spanish. So when I got the opportunity to mix for my buddy Gerardo, who's actually from Illinois, or
Woo!
no, I lied. He's from Indiana. Same, close enough
Canceled.
though.
No, I'm kidding.
But he's from Indiana, and I had the opportunity to mix his records. He I don't know, he just has a cool sound to him where he brings that piano, those sad piano ballads, and he does it in Spanish so that people who only can speak Spanish are just like, okay, I can listen to this and I know what he's saying. I know what he's talking about. It's a great form of inclusivity, I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah. I love the way you produce it too. It's like very beautiful. Like you can go
Oh yeah.
from your rap that is extremely bass heavy, like, and I'm like, okay, whoa, hold up, man, this is too much. And then I just go into this nice little guitar. It's like what? And
Yeah.
it's on the same
Yeah.
playlist.
It's jarring. It's jarring the different, like, from mastering Vanity to mastering something like Turn Me Up by Close Company. It's just two completely different worlds, but it's still audio. It's still
Yes.
audio, and I know how to make it work, so I make it work.
And I'm glad you do, man. I'm glad there's somebody like you that is, what they call is polyjamorous these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to so many different genres. Like I love Billie Eilish, Lizzie McAlpine, all that folk stuff, Boy Genius, C Rose, Hosier, like that whole realm of music I love just as much as the hip hop.
What do you think of like Muse?
Muse, I haven't heard of them.
Muse is the band that is like what I consider what happens when you get Queen influence and mix it with I don't know Arctic Monkeys. I can't even say that, but like Daft
Mhm.
Punk, Daft Punk with Queen. That's what Muse is.
I got you. I'll definitely give them a listen.
For the final hit, we were talking about mental health. It's one of the most important things on everybody's mind. We just passed the season, which is known as the mental health season. Just so happens to be my birth month. We have a song here called Life. Was it Life After Death? I don't know why I can't remember names. And it is one of the most emotionally vulnerable songs I've ever heard. And for everybody that has not listened to it, it is the same type of writing style as you hear on Light from Against the Sun, who I had interviewed before. It has that same message and it is heavy. It's a very heavy topic. I just want to know, John, what is the message overall for people listening to something that is so heavy like that?
This is a pretty heavy topic for me right now as it stands, because did recently have a trans friend commit suicide the day after the election, back in Tallahassee, which, rest in peace to that person, and to anybody who felt the need that there was no other that there was no other choice for them after that night. But um, my main point and my main message to people who ever feel like that kind of way and never feel like they're completely alone, you're not. You're not. There's so many people around you. Like if there's somebody like me who cares as deeply about people I've never met, there's millions of people like that, who just care and love you and want to hear your story, want to figure out how it can help. There's never a situation where that should be your only option. There's always people that you can talk to, and if there's not, I trust me when I say that life is worth living, even if it's feeling like shit, even if it's feeling like there's nothing else that you can do to make your situation better. Life is worth living, because I've definitely been at that point in my life. And if I made that decision that night, I wouldn't be doing everything that I'm doing now. I never could have impacted the amount of lives that I've impacted in the 19 years I've lived. So it's really, really important. I stress this so much, to please call someone, call the hotline, call a friend, tell them that you need to see them, go to a park, go to a community event, um, volunteer at a soup kitchen, hear other people's stories, and realize that there's still hope. Because as bad as the world can get, as bad as there are people who don't even feel like you should exist, even though there are people that hate you just for you being yourself, there's there are the inverse kind of people that love you for who you are, and will love you for for um, how you express yourself. So you're never alone. You're never alone, and this world is just as full of love as it is full of hate. And yeah, just don't think that that's the only option, because it's not.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for everybody that has a nuanced perspective when it comes to helping those that are going through hard times. I'm also one of the people that not suffers with that type of mentality, but empathizes with it so much that it can affect you as well. When you're trying to help others, don't fall into the crack. Don't give up on anything. There is no hopelessness. There's no space for hopelessness. You need to be in a place in your mind that both you and whoever you're helping is going to grow from this situation and prevail through it, whatever time period that is. If it's late at night, early in the morning, middle of the day, somebody's going through something at all times. Reach out to your people, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, reach out to strangers, honestly. Somebody's having a hard day. They just need a little bit of a boost, and you can be that boost. But also, be careful. Tread lightly. Don't fall into any cracks, because there's a lot of darkness when it gets to that level. And I've been there, and I don't want anyone else to be in that spot. I don't want them to think about it in that way, that they can be convinced that this is the end. But speaking of the end, this is the end of this amazing interview with John. This was an absolutely incredible chat and an incredible experience with him. Please go and check out the brand new album, Focus. You can check out the whole expanded edition, and you'll understand why we were talking about life after death. That song is the final track. It has a completely different style, but it is extremely worthy of being on the album. It fits for the final, and John is an absolute, just, he's a I've said so many words before. I don't want to become just a broken record with this, but he is an individual that is creating art that will actually speak to your soul. And whether it's the songs that you love listening to, like any other rap song, or whether it's the songs where you nearly want to cry, this man can actually capture that. And that is something extremely important. And I hope that all of you guys give him mad respect for being here right now, giving his story out, being as honest as he is, and having a great time as well. It's great to have you, man.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me. It's been an amazing, amazing past 3 hours.
It was only one for these people.
Well,
All
the
right.
post-production, man.
Indeed, indeed. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching another awesome episode of the podcast. Stay safe. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. Get ready to have an amazing holiday. Whatever you celebrate, you are loved. Remember that till the end of time. And let music and let art live on forever. Thanks for listening, guys, and have a great day. Peace.